just came back from watching a movie at the local theater here. The latest Batman movie. The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger in that movie played the part of the Joker. Did very well in it. Very well.
No, he was the hero of the movie.
He was the real hero of that movie. Batman was shit. In fact, everyone else in it was shit. And the movie itself was shit. The only thing that saved that movie was the part played by Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
As the Joker. And what happened? Something happened to him. He killed himself. Killed himself. Well, that was it last January.
Yeah.
This year.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, this year of 2008 was that. Well, he killed himself. Suicide last January. Drug
Overdose.
Drug related. Wow.
I think it was.
He played that part the way I would have played it. In fact, he said all of his lines along the same lines of what I write about continuously.
Yeah.
He played it the way I would have played it. In fact,
people are no damn good.
yeah, that shit line in the movie about faith in people. What happened to faith in God? Faith in good. That shit. Faith in God
Leads to
faith
good.
in God, our endlessness, our Father endlessness, faith in God is what is good. That's what is good. And so the Joker reminds us of this. The Joker reminds us of this. Joker, as in zero.
Oh, sorry about that.
You know, from a certain point of view, I am the same. I am the same as Heath Ledger in that movie, in that part he played in it as the Joker. Well, that's me. That's me. Without all the violence, without all of the willfulness, without any of the worldly stuff. It's just me.
Oh.
It's me as the writer. It's me, right, in the right way, which is what, and role play as a big fat zero of a Joker. And there was that line of Joker, Heath Ledger, when you're good at something, how'd it go?
Charge for it.
Oh, when you're good at something, you don't do it for free.
You charge for it, right? You don't do it for free. That's right. That's right. When you're good at something, you don't do it for free.
Yeah, and there he is in the movie setting fire to a whole pile of money. So what was in it for him, really? He played that part so well. Everything in connection with him was right, done right. Everything else in that movie was total shit.
Well, he's trying to show that they were putting too much importance on having money, buying things, and all that. Well, that's the whole thing about what the fourth way is. Don't put all the importance on having a lot of money and buying stuff.
All right. Well, the fourth way is about substance.
Yeah, substance. So he was showing there was no substance to what they were doing, just scrabbling at each other over that money.
Money is nothing. Money of itself is nothing. Just like baseball, sport of itself.
You can't take it with you.
Is nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Sex of itself is nothing.
Yeah.
Power, worldly power, is all for nothing.
Yeah.
Of itself.
Everybody's going to die sometime. Why knock yourself out so much for it?
Well, that's exactly what Gurdjieff wrote in chapter 47 of Beelzebub's Tales, The Inevitable Result. That it would be a good idea if an organ similar to the Kunda buffer was implanted in people to remind them constantly of the inevitability of death, and everyone that we see when we look around us, and ourselves included, the inevitability of our own, in terms of our earthly life, inevitability of our own death, always reminded by that somehow or other. Even so far as to have an organ implant, make it a part of us organically to remember always, and then that in itself would arrest violence, physical violence, worldly violence around the planet. This was the idea of Gurdjieff.
Yeah.
An organ similar to the Kunda buffer to constantly remind us of the inevitability of our own death. Inevitability of our own death. We don't live forever here on the earth. Life of itself, earth of itself, world of itself. And there is something more than this life here of itself on earth.
Yeah. Yeah, you already have immortality in consciousness, but people want immortality of the body. Seems like you would only want that if you could stay young all the time. You sure don't want it as an old man. In fact, maybe that's why you get miserable in your old age.
Anyway,
so that you'll know that when the time comes,
you're
not going to be so unhappy about it.
And the Joker in that movie, the Dark Knight, Joker, again played by Heath Ledger, who committed suicide, killed himself. Ideas expressed by him about he wasn't speaking about being above the law. It was about letter of the law. It's letter of the law that makes life miserable for everybody on the planet. Letter of the law, without substance, without spirit.
And no mercy.
No mercy, yeah.